All right. So we're going to find a comfortable seat. Could be on the edge of a bolster or blanket. As long as your hips are up just a little bit. Especially if your hips are tight, having your hips up allows them to open a little easier. So we're going to start seated, and you can close your eyes or take a soft gaze. You're just going to check in. Notice your breath. Notice what feelings and emotions you're bringing to the mat this evening. We'll do a little kind of guided meditation, chakra, pranayama. So on our next inhale, we're going to imagine that the breath travels all the way down to the base of the spine, or you can send the breath all the way down to your feet. And on the exhale, the breath travels all the way back up. Again, inhaling, sending the breath all the way to the feet, or the base of the spine. Exhaling completely. This time I want you to imagine your breath filling you up all the way to just below the belly button, so your low belly. And then exhale. Inhale, the breath travels down to the belly button. And exhale. Your next inhale brings you to the heart. Your whole chest filling up with air. And exhaling. The next breath you notice fills up at the throat. And again, exhaling. Inhale, the air and the prana comes up to the middle of the forehead. And then again, exhaling. Inhale, fill up to the crown of the head. And exhale here. Inhale again, we bring our awareness to the crown of the head. And then exhale. Inhale, the awareness goes to the middle of the forehead, between the eyes. And exhaling completely. Inhaling, the awareness goes to the throat. Exhaling here. Inhale, the awareness goes to the heart center. And exhaling here. Inhale, your awareness comes to the abdomen, the belly button. And exhaling here. Inhaling, your awareness comes to the low belly. And then exhaling here. Inhaling brings your breath all the way to the base of the spine, the seat, the legs. And exhaling here. We'll take a few more all expansive breaths. So we're filling up the head, the arms, the chest, the legs. And on the exhale, and On the exhale, everything just softens. Inhale, everything expands to the front, to the back, to the sides. Exhaling, everything softens. I'm going to take 2 more breaths like that. We'll now bring our hands to the floor, move into a tabletop position. You can round the back. And inhaling, dropping the belly low, bringing the gaze forward. We'll do just a couple of those, exhaling and rounding. Inhaling and dropping the belly low. We're now going to take the knees as wide as your mat. Bring the big toes together. You can bring your bolster or your blanket or whatever in front of you and lower down. You can hug your bolster. If you don't want that and you want to rest your chest and belly on the floor, you can do that as well. And stay in child's pose. I'm just going to talk to you for a little bit. So the yin and the restorative type postures are ones that we hold for several minutes. They can be held up to 20 minutes for advanced practitioners. Although you don't have to be too awful advanced for some of the poses, but beyond 20 minutes, there's not a whole lot of value in the yin part. Now, as you're here in child's pose, notice where your belly touches your thighs or the floor or your bolster. And notice the pressure of your belly pressing in to your prop or your legs or your floor on the inhales. And allow yourself to soften on the exhales. The exhales are more passive, kind of allowing on the exhales. I want you to notice your rib cage expand to the left and the right as you inhale. So maybe it presses into your arm or the side of your thigh. And I want you to see if you can notice the back of your body, your upper back, your mid back, and your low back expand or move while you're breathing. Now I want you to see if you can notice the expansion in all directions on the inhale. So the front of your body will move down and towards the floor or your legs. The sides of your ribs will expand to the left and to the right. And the whole back of your body will expand and rise up towards the ceiling on the inhale. So everything expands on the inhale and just allow it to soften on the exhale. We'll take just a couple more breaths here. One thing to think about is how to make each posture fit you. So it might mean grabbing another blanket. It might mean kind of just moving slightly from the way you're cued. Maybe it means to breathe into the posture a little bit more. So we're actively trying to seek a way to make this work for us. So there will be some times where it's uncomfortable, but if we can make it more comfortable by moving a prop or whatever, then try to do that. This is kind of the exciting part of it. You get to play around a little bit. You'll start to slowly move the hips up, away from the heels, and move the knees back underneath the hips. So you're back into a tabletop position. Again, moving through cat and cow, if that works for you. Taking a side bend, kind of bringing your gaze over your shoulder or your hip. And switching sides. Anytime you need to do down dog, child's pose, cat and cow, take a break, go ahead and do that. One of the benefits of practicing at home is you could just get up and go get a drink if you wanted. Nobody's going to think that it's weird. So from here, we're going to bring our right foot forward. So we're in a lunge position. And here you can place your hands on either side of your front leg. You can do it here, you can be up. We're stretching or extending the leg. So we're working on the hip flexor here on the left leg. You can kind of be directly on your kneecap if that's comfortable, but I like to kind of shift forward slightly. If it's more comfortable to walk your foot out to the right and place your hands to the inside, you could do that as well. So you pick which variation works for you. And then if we bring our awareness to the breath again, maybe we notice the breath pressing into the thigh, the belly pressing into the thigh. You can always move or modify this pose how you want. If this gets kind of uncomfortable and you don't want it to sit like this anymore, you can move your hands down, whatever works. Some people can even go deeper, so they might even come down to their forearms or on blocks. But your choice. If you can figure out a way to kind of prop yourself up on a bolster or cushion, you can do that as well. If you want to take a twist option here, you can place your left hand on the floor, your right hand on your right thigh, and start to open up your chest towards that front leg. Taking just a couple more breaths here. And we'll start to untwist. And your hips back. If you have blocks, this is kind of a good time to walk your hips back using your hands on the blocks. And this is a half split. So the leg in front, the right leg, is straight with the foot flexed. And you can be on your back knee. You can be here. Or I really enjoy a half hero. So then I come all the way back, place a block underneath my right seat bone, and stay here. Then I'm not on my kneecap on my left knee. You can flex that right foot. Sitting up tall, you can stay here. This is very active to stay up tall and have the foot flexed. If you want to try to get more stretch into the back leg or into the straight leg, you can hinge forward. So still keeping the chest lifted, the back straight. And the yin and the restorative practice of yoga is can be very meditative. It can also drive you a little bit crazy. If you're already in your head or you're very introverted, this might not be a good practice, or it might actually benefit you, especially if you're in your head. If you're a go, go, go type of person, it's hard to slow down. Usually, the stuff that's the hardest is the stuff that you need the most. What I like about this is it gives you time to move in and out of the poses. You have time to think about how it feels or how you can kind of relax things. I tend to notice that there are different muscle groups, especially my hips, like my quad muscles, that I tend to constrict or contract. And I have to actively think about releasing those muscles. I'm going to take just a couple more breaths here on this side. And definitely, if anything, any pose is too much or it's uncomfortable or too uncomfortable, come out. You can just have a seat for a moment and we'll catch up again in a minute. You'll start to lift up, move back into that front knee, and then bring that right leg back into our tabletop. You can take another cat and cow. And then we'll bring the left leg forward. So you can be up, you can be down, you can have your left leg out to the left and be on your hands inside of your leg. I see cute little faces at Lori's house, just keep kind of popping into the screen. Take just a couple more breaths here. If you want the option of the twist, you'll place the right hand down. The left hand comes to the thigh. Start to roll that left shoulder open. Take a few more breaths here. We'll start to untwist. Using your blocks or your hands, you start to shift your hips back. For your half split or half hero. So if you're using the half hero, you put a block or some books underneath your hip. And you can sit up tall here. The left foot will be flexed. You can stay here. This is very active. Takes a lot of engagement in the core. Or you can start to hinge forward. Take just a few more breaths here. If you want to go deeper, you can go deeper by hinging further forward. And then we'll start to come out. Start to come forward. Bring that right foot back, or left foot back. You can move into a few cat and cow positions. We'll move into Sphinx. So we're going to lay down on the floor. So you have the option of baby crocodile. So your Arms are crossed in front of you. I'm gonna sit up just so you can see me. Your hands can be like this, and you can rest your forehead down. That's kind of the gentlest, the smallest back bend. If you want more compression in the low back, you can come up on the forearms with your elbows directly underneath your shoulders or ahead of your shoulders. We don't want them back like we would for Cobra. We want more of just prop ourselves up. We don't want to have to work a whole hard here. I'm going to move to the side here. You can also prop your upper body up. You can rest your hands in your head in your hands. And then allow your back to soften. Allow your back to relax. I know for me, a lot of these poses were very, very hard in the beginning because my back was so tight and I didn't want to let go. And your brain and your conscious thought can start to tell your unconscious to just release and let go, that it's okay, that you're not going to hurt yourself. Our nervous system will kind of just snap into action, trying to protect us, and then we have to let our body know that it doesn't have to. In these long poses, these long holds, it's interesting to evaluate and notice what's going on in your mind. Where does your mind go when you just are doing a long hold? Are you mentally grocery shopping? Are you replaying something that's already happened? Are you planning for the future? Are you thinking, oh my God, when do we move to the next pose? Sometimes in some of the poses, depending on how you're feeling, you might start to blame the teacher for how you're feeling. Oh my God, why did she have us doing this? Ugh, she's awful. Maybe that's just me. I'm not proud of it, but I've definitely had times where I've become very frustrated in these longer poses. Then I realize that's me. That's not her problem, it's my problem. Okay, we'll start to lower down. So if you're on a prop, you can move it out of the way. And we're going to bring one leg up alongside the body. So the knee is bent, and you're bringing it up alongside the body. You can take a side bend. So right now I have my left knee forward, and my left elbow is touching my left knee. And then I can set my head down. This is like a half frog position. So whatever leg you have lifted or raised up alongside the body, you're going to bring that down. And we're going to move into Sphinx again, this time with maybe a little added compression. So you can stay how you were, or you can bend the knees. That's going to add a little bit more compression in the low back. You can extend the arms. That's a little bit more intense. It's a lot of it more intense, actually. I like the added compression of the feet up without having to extend my arms. So choose whatever one that you like. I don't know if you can hear them, but the guineas are right outside the door. I think they're even on the porch. You can hear them, yeah. So whenever you hear an animal sound or a bird sound, take a deep breath. So usually I don't even notice them, but now that I'm recording this, you know, when they do start in, I'm thinking, oh my, you know, just how loud they are. We'll start to straighten the legs if you have them bent. Start to lower down if you're up. And we're going to bring the other leg up alongside the body. So for me, it's now my right knee is up and wide. And I can bring my right elbow towards my right knee and then lower my head down. And just a couple more breaths here in this position. Okay, you're going to bring your leg alongside the body again. Come up into your tabletop. And you can set up a bolster and a blanket or something that you can lean over on top of. Even a block and a pillow, another option to put on the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay over these blanket and the bolster or whatever you have right here. It's going to be a belly squish. So you can turn it this side, this way. So it's across your mat. And you're going to put it right here from kind of like your pubic bone to your belly button or a little bit above. So you can press it there. Okay. You can use a block or a pillow for your forehead. And we're going to cross the arms like this. So, and then fold, lay down on your bolster. So your arms are crossed. Yeah, you can cross them once you're already laying down. That might be more comfortable, more available. And while you're down and your arms are crossed, I'd like you to try to breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. So that upper middle part of the back, and you're breathing into it. I wish I could speak guinea fowl, because they have a lot to say, clearly. Okay, so you'll notice that one arm is above the other arm, so one arm is closer to your face. You're going to open the arms and switch which one's on top. So the other arm will be on top, and you're staying with the belly squish, and you're head down. And you're breathing into the sides of the ribs and the upper back. Okay. Start to remove the arms from underneath you. Use your hands to prop yourself up. Again, moving back into your tabletop, you can take some cat and cow. I'm going to move the props out of the way. The next posture we'll move into. We're going to lay down on your belly. And you're going to knock your water bottle over. You're going to extend your right arm out to the right. So I don't know if you can see that from there, but my right arm, if I'm looking over at my right arm, I can see my thumb is kind of in line with my face. And then pressing into the floor with my left hand, I'm going to roll back onto my right arm. You can put a block under your head if you want, or just rest your head on the floor. You can use your left leg to prop yourself up, so that can be on the floor. I'm going to show you a different way. Right arm out to the right. I'm propping myself up. So it's stretching the front of the shoulder and compressing the shoulder. If this is too much, you don't have to go over quite so far. You can rest your face on your left hand and your left elbow having it down on the floor. Now roll back onto the belly. Extend the left arm out and roll back onto your left arm. The right leg now is your kickstand to prop yourself up. Roll back onto the belly. And then we'll roll over onto our backs for supported bridge. So if you have a block or a bolster or your blanket or whatever you have, you're gonna lay down, bend your knees, pressing your feet into the floor, you'll lift your hips, and you're gonna place the block or the bolster underneath your hips. So it's basically resting where just below maybe the waistband of your pants. If you still want to open up those hip flexors, you can extend one leg and then the other. I have a hard time not getting more tense that way, so I really like just the supported bridge. Or if you want to extend your legs up towards the ceiling, you can do that as well. We're going to be here for a couple minutes, so you can come back down to a bridge pose whenever you like. Or you can stay with your legs in the air for as long as you'd like as well. This is your practice. If you want to have your legs in the air and do some ankle rolls, you can do that. Totally optional. Circle in both directions. And then you'll slowly lower the feet back down one at a time. Lift the hips, remove the block or bolster. And then you can set the hips back down. And then bend the knees and bring them up towards the chest. Rock side to side. The option here for staying in this pose, you can bring the knees wider. And you continue to rock or not, up to you. Another option is happy baby. So grabbing the outsides of the feet. Bringing the legs wide and the feet are, imagine that you can press them into the ceiling. And press those feet into your hands. And then soften, allow your knees to come towards the floor. And again, press the feet into the hands. And then soften. One more time, we're pressing the feet into the hands. And then soften. Release the feet. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Reaching just below the kneecap on each shin, just on each leg. You're going to circle the legs. So the knees will go in towards the chest, out to the side, away from you, and into the other side. So you're going to circle like that. And giving yourself a back massage, and then you'll switch directions. Okay. So here we'll place our feet on the floor. The knees are still bent. You can press your feet into the floor. You're going to lift your hips off the floor slightly. You're going to bring your hips to the left of your mat and let your knees fall to the right. Okay, so this is a supine twist. My shoulders are still on the floor. If one shoulder wants to lift up, you can place a blanket or a bolster or a block underneath it, depending on how much it's coming off the floor. If your knees need a little, if they're a little bit off the floor and you want to be able to relax, you can take your knees and place a block underneath them. By supporting your body, you will actually allow your body to relax deeper. more fully. Your nervous system stays very active when you're not supported. If you want to add a little bit more to the twist, you can look over your left shoulder. We'll be in this position for about 5 minutes. So if I'm not moving or saying anything, the video hasn't stopped. If you find that you're clenching your jaw, the pose might be a little bit too extreme. Or it could be that you're just a jaw clencher. You want to soften the jaw. Maybe open your mouth slightly. Move your tongue around. Just about 1 more minute here in this position. Moving very slowly. I'm going to start to untwist. Bring your hips back to the center of your mat. And then again, you can hug the knees in towards the chest. And rock side to side. set your feet back on the floor. This time here, we'll press our feet into the floor. Lift the hips slightly off the mat. You're going to bring your hips towards the right side of your mat and lower them back down. And then let your knees fall to the left. We'll start a supine twist. And again, if your right shoulder's coming off the mat, you can place a blanket underneath it. If your knees are not touching the floor, you can put a bolster or block underneath. Help support you. If you want more twist, you can cross the right leg underneath the left, over the left, and then underneath. If you want to add to the twist, you can look to the right. You can soften your jaw. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable. Just one more minute here on this side. Moving very slowly. Start to untwist. Bring the hips back towards the center of the mat and hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side, or circle the knees again. So the next pose we're going to move into is a heart opener. Now, if you have a block and bolster like we did in our live classes, our in-person live classes, you take your block, you place it down, you can set your bolster on top of it, and then sit right up next to it and lay down over it. So that's one option. If you don't have a block and bolster and you have a blanket, you take your blanket, take it like this and roll it up. Okay. You can take this rolled up blanket, place it down on your mat and lay back on it so that your spine is lined up over top the blanket. Another option is to place the blanket right about here and lean back on it. So it's just under your shoulder blades. Whatever choice that you come up with, whichever one that works for you, the feeling is an expansion of the chest, the widening of the collarbone. So take any kind of chest opener that you'd like, or heart opener, and try to make it comfortable. So we don't want any pressure points. We don't want anything getting jabbed. We're going to try to allow your body to soften over your props. Your arms can be alongside the body or open wide in a T. Maybe just 2 more minutes here in this position. Just a couple more breaths here. If this position is really comfortable for you, you can stay here, or you can prepare yourself for our final relaxation pose. So get as comfortable as you can, add any layers, socks, blankets, pillows. Get yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. Another bonus for doing an online video, you can fall asleep in your home. We'll do a little rotation of awareness. So I'm going to name a body part, or well, many body parts actually. And I want you to bring your awareness to that body part. So I'm not asking you to do anything. You don't need to contract it or move it or anything like that. I just want you to bring your awareness to that spot. We're going to start on the right side of the body. Your right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. Your right wrist, the right forearm, right elbow, upper arm, the right shoulder. You're going to move over to your left hand, your left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, your left wrist, your left forearm, your left elbow, your upper arm, and your left shoulder. Your whole right arm and your whole left arm. Moving down to the right foot, your big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. The bottom of your right foot, the top of your right foot, your ankle, your lower leg, your right knee, right upper leg, right hip. Bring your awareness to your left foot, your big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. The bottom of your left foot, the top of your left foot, your left ankle, lower leg, knee, upper leg, your left hip, your entire right leg, your entire left leg, your low belly, your lower ribs, your chest, the right side of your chest, the left side of your chest, the right side of your waist, the left side of your waist, your whole torso, the whole front of your torso, your lower back, mid back, and upper back, your entire back, the front of your neck, the back of your neck, your jaw, your right ear, your left ear, both ears, your bottom lip, your top lip, your teeth and your tongue, your right nostril and left nostril, your whole nose, your right eye, your left eye, both eyes, your right eyebrow, left eyebrow, both eyebrows, the center of the eyebrows, the center of the forehead, your whole forehead, the crown of the head, the back of the head, your whole head, your whole neck, your arms, your torso, your right leg, and your left leg, both legs, both arms, your whole body, your whole body, your whole body. Now allow your body to soften. You are totally relaxed. You have nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just be here. And bring your awareness to your breath. Noticing the rise and the fall of your belly and chest as you inhale and exhale. Without moving, I want you to bring your awareness to your feet. Imagine your toes moving. And now wiggle your toes. Bring your awareness to your hands. And imagine them moving. And now wiggle your fingers. Bring your awareness to your head and neck. And now gently rock your head from side to side. Start to slowly waken the body by making bigger movements, wiggling the fingers and the toes and wrist and ankle rolls. Everything starts to waken back up. You can even take a big stretch with your arms overhead. And now over the next couple of breaths, you're going to roll to one side, moving very slowly. You want to keep this feeling as long as possible. Eventually, we're all going to join back up in a seated position. And we'll bring our hands to our heart. Allow a soft smile to enter your mouth. Helps for practicing together and allowing me to guide you in this practice along with my funny farm. May we all feel loved. May we all feel grateful. May we all feel connected. And may we have the strength and courage to overcome any obstacles before us. From my heart to your heart, peace. Thank you, ladies. And I'm going to stop the video and unmute.